My name is Jill, and I'm currently living in Australia.
My name is Jalen, and I'm currently here in Ireland.
Hi, my name is Jay, and I am currently residing in Spain.
Hi, my name is Kota and I'm currently residing in Tokyo, Japan.
I used to work as a procurement officer for Coca-Cola before I left in 2012 to 2013 pala to come here in Australia to study.
I work in the Philippines before as a registered nurse.
I started in the Philippines as a sales and marketing executive for a boutique consultancy firm offering organizational development consultancy, learning and development trainings.
After college, I was hired in a call center. So I was working for 3 years before I went abroad.
I now work in the disability sector in Australia, supporting people with disability to build their capacity. But I started here sa hospitality industry when I was a student kasi yun lang yung option namin.
I'm currently working here as a clinical nurse manager, and I'm also studying my master's in healthcare management here.
Previously, a student. Now I am potentially in the field of human resources. Well, I am in the field of human resources and hopefully going to become an entrepreneur soon.
So currently here in Japan, I'm teaching English to children, well, mostly children. Sometimes I also teach adults.
Wala kinabukasan sa Pilipinas nun eh. Honestly, it's my honest answer. Yun naman yung sinasabi ko lagi kapag tinatanong ako kung bakit I left. I mean, I had a good career, like, kumbaga, papik na yung career nun eh. I was working for a multinational company, so everybody knows Coke. So, kumbaga maganda na, kaya lang kasi I was the typical early 20s na I felt lost, and then pagod na ako sa buhay na nag-travel ka from Bulacan. I live in Bulacan, so I travel from Bulacan to BGC every day. So alis 6 ng umaga to start a 9 o'clock work. So madalas late ako kasi nga traffic. So ang original plan talaga is to apply for a J1 visa sa US. Kaya lang they had a change of policy which makes me ineligible to apply. So the agent said, "Oh, why don't you try Australia?" Blah blah, and the rest is history.
I decided to leave the country to explore the other parts of the world and also to advance my career.
It's because of the opportunities and basically the call for international experience. There's a social stigma previously that if you only started working in the Philippines, that it would be very difficult for you to climb the ladders and to work for big multinational organizations. So when the opportunity presented itself, I decided to grab it, and for some weird reason, ended up in the desert and worked my way up towards the west.
Actually, I wasn't really planning on like leaving the Philippines. So like after graduating college, while I was working dun sa call center, one of my classmates shared na there's this opportunity na parang they're looking for Japanese speakers because my course in college my major was Japanese, so I could speak Japanese. Well, not that fluent, pero somehow there's that certain degree na okay, I can converse and express my opinions in Japanese naman.
Oo. I've been here for 10 years na. Supposedly, yung visa ko nun is 1 year lang talaga. So, yung 1 year na yun, kasi nga, hindi ko alam kung anong gusto ko eh. So, sabi ko, sige, bahala na. Pero, yun, naging times 10 na siya. Awa ng Diyos, 10 years na dito.
Yes, I'm so happy here in Ireland.
Yes and no. Happy in a sense that I'm starting my new challenge in life. I started living in this country for about 1.5 years, and then previously I used to live in Germany. There's pros and cons for sure. One of the things would be the language barrier, which I had to learn from the very beginning, which I could, of course, develop further. It's very different from the culture that I grew up in and the culture that I have adopted living in the desert for over a decade. So I think that's one of the potential cons that I have encountered here, which made me a little bit unhappy with the whole adjustment phase. But afterwards, living in Spain and learning how they live their life taught me a lot of things. And I think one of the main things that made me happy in this country is it taught me how to prioritize how to live rather than living to work.
To be honest, as half Japanese, half Filipino, I can adapt to the culture here in Japan. I'm happy living here, maybe because partly I belong.
Yung mag-work outside of your field na nakasanayan mo. Kasi, syempre, sa Pilipinas, ang medyo prestigious yung job natin eh. Desk job ka, you meet a lot of people, you work for a good company, tapos, kumbaga, ang daming perks ng trabaho mo. Pero, pagdating mo dito, back to zero ka. As in, like yung sinabi ko kanina, I started sa hospitality. So, hindi ko na-imagine na magagawa ko mag-wait ng tables, scrap out ng pinggan sa mga restaurant and work ridiculous hours para lang makasurvive. So, hindi ko nakita yon. Akala ko nung nag-sign up ako for student visa, actually most people siguro ganun. Yung mga kasabayan ko, ganun din yung akala nila. Hindi nila ako nakakala na ganun may hirapan. Na minsan nga, yung mga first days ko na sa restaurant, siyempre hindi ako sanay eh. Tapos, hindi naman kami mayaman, pero may help sa bahay. So, alam mo yung hindi ikaw lahat. Hindi ka sanay ka, pero hindi sa ganun na. Hindi ng ganung klase. So, parang na-feel ko mula MMK na buhay na, shit, kahapon, 2 days ago, literally, I was feeling mo, prinsesa ka, lang ginagawa sa bahay, ngayon, eto ka. So, ganun yung na-feel ko.
One thing that I didn't expect, it's actually COVID-19.
The comfort of learning that you would survive wherever you are put into. Because there's this constant fear of like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I'm going to go to a different country. I have no idea how to make friends, how to react to the new cultures. But surprisingly, learning that you will adapt, that you will survive, that you will find people, and then you will have, or rather, you will find peace in learning that wherever you put your head to sleep is home. It's one of the most interesting things that you could learn.
Because I'm not that fluent in speaking Japanese, so it's also very hard for me to find Japanese friends. I mean, they can be your friend, but it's very hard also for Japanese people to open themselves and like be your friend. I don't know, maybe in the Philippines, even though you speak another language, or even if foreigners probably would visit our country, like they can be, we can be always welcome and be their friend in an instant. One thing that I was surprised here in Japan was like, you really need to like know the language.
Oo, talamak yan kahit saan dito. Meron silang mga town na sinasabi na racist town, pero pare-pareho lang eh. May racism talaga kahit saan.
Yes, I believe every OFW experienced that.
Yes, I have experienced racial discrimination. Working in different countries actually exposes you towards it. As a Filipino, you are at a disadvantage, especially as a young Filipino woman working in the desert. They would normally look at your passport and they would always think like, these people are only used to working certain type of jobs, and this person is educated, like, must be part of the creme de la creme of the country. And I always try and educate people who are not actually exposed to other international cultures, such as Filipinos, outside of that given, I would say, stereotype that they have on their head, that there's more to Filipinos than what they have perceived. Because There's a lot of us out there that are really intelligent, that are highly educated, and they just haven't been exposed to us.
Wala naman. So far, wala naman akong na-experience na racial discrimination.
For good, blatantly, wala. I would love to. Wala. Kasi let's be honest, sa estado, kakauwi ko lang last month to visit my family. And every time na uuwi ako, wala. Parang feeling ko palala ng palala yung sitwasyon. Like, nung 2013, bago ako umalis, yung traffic was tolerable. Like, pipila ako sa MRT, estimado ko na yon 30 minutes, nasa loob na ako ng train. Pero nung huli akong sumakay ng MRT, 2015, 2016, hindi ko kinaya. Hindi ko alam kung rush hour lang kasi siya or Friday o talagang ganun siya. Hindi ko kinaya. So, umalis ako ng Makati noon. Hindi ko siya makakalimutan. Umalis ako ng Makati 4 p.m. Kasama yung pila sa MRT, nakarating ako 10 o'clock na sa Bulacan. So, siguro kung may lumipad mula ng direct flight ng Singapore to Manila, naunahan na nila akong makauwi. Ganun siya kalala. Ang daming walang disiplina sa road. So, hindi ako babalik for good. I would visit. Pero yun yung honest kong sagot. Siguro pag retirement, napapag-usapan din naman namin na siguro we'll consider kapag retirement. Pero wala talaga.
Once I decided to have a simple life.
What will make me come back for good? Gosh, that's a very difficult thing to do. Probably from an Asian mindset, money is what would make me come back for good. From the perspective of when we were taught from a young age that, love or money can't buy love or happiness. Unfortunately, that's not true. Because back home, you have healthcare. Even if you have insurance, if you don't get paid well enough or if you don't have enough money to survive all towards your elder years, then you're doomed. Where if I find some sort of, I'd say, stability in terms of money, I'd probably come back. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to kind of purchase a couple of properties back home so that I have a bit of a safety nest when I decide to come back for good and hopefully retire. But I don't know. My home right now is the world.
To be honest, like, for now, I mean, I'm not closing my doors, pero parang I really want to live here in Japan. But if ever na parang I really see, those people na who are actually working and living lang sa Pilipinas, they're like really lucky because they're with their families and they don't have to go abroad. Siguro yung magpapabalik sa akin. Maybe a job that I can earn the same amount of what I'm earning here.
Number one is kailangan may guts at may tapang talaga. Kailangan when you come here, kung mag-desisyon kayo mag-migrate abroad, kailangan buuin desisyon. Like, ito na, wala nang atrasan to. Kasi unang-una, financially, hindi siya mura unless sponsored ka ng employer, wala kang babayaran. Sige, pero hindi siya mura. And then second, be mentally and financially prepared din. Kasi syempre yung mga, lalo na kung magsa-student visa ka, tapos wala kang kakilala, so kumbaga you're on your own, you gotta start from scratch, mentally kasi nga mag-isa ka. So medyo mababaliw ka rin talaga kasi syempre mamimiss mo yung pamilya mo back home, tapos when you see people na they're celebrating something without you, medyo nakakaano din yun. Kasi nung unang year ko ganun naingit ako, lalo na kapag Christmas. And siguro lastly, sa tip sa mga mag-abroad, kung single sila, edi maghanap sila ng forever sa abroad. Katulad ko dito nga nahanap ang forever.
So, ang tip ko, prepare yourself, be independent, trust yourself more than anyone else, and believe in yourself.
Know the country, know the language. Mahirap din if like you're going to a country where you don't really know the language, because what if like something happens to you or an emergency, you have to go to the hospital. So you can't really rely on like, oh, is there an English speaker or somebody na who can understand English? So yun, parang I think it would really help if you know some people who are already living there, so that they can also help you when you start up. Kasi di ba mahirap if like ikaw lang and then you don't know anybody. I think also ito yung natutunan ko talaga when I started working abroad, is to swallow your pride. Like your first job, maybe it's not really like the best job. Like you could be tagahugas ng plato or tagalinis ng rooms. I mean, it's a decent job and you can also make a lot of money. But just know na parang it's not naman forever. Know na parang ano lang yun, stepping stone. And who knows, maybe kung ano man yung job na maano nila, it can open also a lot of doors. Like they can meet other people sa kanilang work, and maybe they can like introduce other jobs, and yun lang.